Hey friends, we are looking at the Insoon coffee stand. This is set number SC9958 with 1,436 pieces. In this video, we're going to look at the box and we're going to look at the parts, the instructions, the stickers, the lighting kit. So you know what to expect if you were to get this. And then in a separate video, I will review the finished model. All right, so looking at the box, what we're getting here is a coffee stand, and it is open on this one side. It has a big door, it's got areas to sit, and it's got a scooter, and it's got a small food wagon. Now, the thing that I noticed about this is the scale is all over the place. So if a person, we'll say, is about yay tall, that doesn't really match with this tiny little scooter that you get. And a person would be about that tall in order to sit on this seat. And this dog might be a little too small for that scale. And minifigures are not this tall either. Minifigures are going to be around this tall, so about half the height. So it feels like this is about a third taller than the minifigures would be if you were to bring your own minifigures and place them in here. It doesn't come with minifigures, but this is probably going to work great as like a display, just to enjoy. And if the scale bugs you, you can always put these guys away, like this scooter and this thing. This little cart. They might be a little bit too small. But it has this entrance. It's got a full interior. It sells coffee, pastries, and beer. So they sell everything here. And then it's got signage, and here's a handbag, some flowers. There is a tree build in the back here. And they even went so far as to include a roof with some HVAC equipment, another animal at the top there, and an umbrella. But there's lots of pastries, lots of stuff to look at in the inside. Looking at the back, you can see that while I believe it is a 360 build, it hinges right in the middle, so you can open it up. And then once you open it up, it reveals some stools on the other side of that counter, as well as this is sort of the stocked store part of it, with just lots and lots of things that you can buy, including a cake, some pastries. This looks like another door that might lead out the back there. And then there's more images of the details that you get kind of in front of it. Here's an image of this section above it, right, just from a different angle. And then again, more details. Mugs. I like this little display of mugs. That's kind of neat. And then you can see here, this is where the lights are. These are the 1x4 plates and go right here. And I think those are the only two lights, and then they light up the entire interior from there. Okay, and then for the parts, they are compatible with Lego. Pretty good usage of color here. So you're going to see colors that do pop. They have some colorful pieces, but they have some colors that are a little bit more realistic too. So some subdued, like sand green in here, some nougat, colors that probably will look pretty good once they're in this final build. Okay, and then let's look at the sticker sheet. It is a pretty big sticker sheet. That's pretty common for Insoon. They are probably going to ask you to put these stickers across multiple pieces. This kind of bugs me that the logo is different from one sign to the other, and they're right next to each other in the building. So that kind of bugs me, but probably won't bug most people. And oh yeah, and then it's written a different way here, coffee stand as well. And you see things like a menu. This says blueberry cake, mojito, and coffee. So they sell beer as well as mojitos. So that's pretty wild. Okay, and then the lighting kit has a battery box, comes with batteries. It's one of these style, the 2x4. You pull the isolator out of there, and then these are separate lengths, and they're 1x4 plates. And let's flip it on. There you go. So it gives off quite a bit of light, and these do last a bit of, quite a while. And then if you need to swap out the battery, there's a screw. You open it up and you can change out those little button batteries. Okay, and then this set also comes with one of these. I've seen this a couple times before. These are printed pieces that are in 4 different colors. And the reason they include that is because those colors appear a lot inside this build. And so they want to give you some help to figure out what those colors look like inside the instructions. So, for example, when you see that particular piece in that color, you know it's B. And then you can reference the actual tile that they give you, and then you know to find it. And that in this case is kind of is it a medium nougat or a kind of a reddish brown? I'm not, it's like almost like a dark red, maybe that color. And then this is a dark brown, this is brown, this is nougat. So that helps you kind of orient yourself in terms of figuring out what colors are what as you're flipping through and you're working on it. I do like that they give you information about how to run the wires. That's good. And as far as the instructions go, if you've ever built a Lego set before, this should be pretty easy. You'll be able to figure it out. Just take your time. There's nothing super complicated, and the wiring is probably the easiest you can get, which is you put in the battery box, you run the wires to the spots, and you're done. And it'll tell you how to run the wires and where to put the battery box. I didn't see in here placement for that battery box. We'll see. Oh, there it is. So it is. It sits here. It looks like the very back of it is exposed to, or the switch is on the back side, so you can flip the switch on and off without getting into the model, which is nice. So you just reach to the back of the model, flip the switch, and then the lights will come on. So that's convenient that they put it there. Okay, so that's your look. I hope that was useful. If you like this video, please hit like, and if you could subscribe, that would mean a lot to me as well. Thanks so much.